Ruby Franke's parenting vlog surpassed 2.5 million viewers.
Between you and me, they're not perfect.
I would like to offer my help.
I got a message. Eve forgot her lunch today, so the natural outcome is Eve will need to go hungry.
So, Ruby Franke's daughter, Shari Franke, is upset, and rightly so. The new Lifetime movie about the events which took place, which led to Shari's own mother being convicted of abusing her own siblings, is going to be aired shortly on national television, and it's bad. It's bad. If you've seen the trailers, you'll know it's bad. Shari has spoken out extensively, trying to protect her own family after the events. Now, if you don't know the story behind the Ruby Franke incident, my God, where have you been? I've covered it extensively on this channel. If you want to see anything, go and view those on the playlists and things like that. But a brief cliff note of the situation is that Ruby Franke had a YouTube channel with 2 million subscribers. It was called 8 Passengers. It was her husband, and her 6 children. And they vlogged their everyday lives. They're like the original, well, one of the original exploitative family channels, right? And Ruby's parenting techniques were questionable, to say the least. You know, punishing her 5-year-old daughter for not packing her own lunch by making her go hungry at school and things like that. Very questionable. Later on in life, after the channel kind of dissipated, Ruby met up with a friend who was a very weird and wonderful character, Jodie Hildebrandt, and they created their own little cult type thing. And within that cult, they cut off all their family, right? Except for the kids, the younger kids, and the younger kids went through absolute hell whilst living under the roof of Jodie Hildebrandt, who was brainwashing everybody, right? She was. I mean, Ruby's no say in any of this. She was 100% guilty, but Jodie was the main driving force behind all of this. It turned out that the 2 youngest were being severely abused. They turned up at a neighbour's house. Well, the youngest boy ran away, escaped, and turned up at a neighbour's house, malnourished, arms and legs tied, arms and legs with binding, and all sorts of horrific injuries, right? To cut a long story short, both Ruby and Jodie were arrested and are now currently in prison for it, right? Horrific case. Everybody who is on YouTube probably knows of it, because it's a massive YouTube story. It's not just a YouTube story, it's a huge story everywhere, right? Now, since that's happened, the youngest ones have particularly been, obviously they're in recovery and they're trying to get their lives back to some sort of normality, probably going through therapy and things like that. Nobody knows a great deal about them, but now there's going to be a Lifetime movie made of them. Well, there has been. It's going to be released in a couple of weeks' time, and Shari Franke, who is the eldest daughter, is going crazy. She's not happy about it, and she's put up several posts on Instagram expressing it. A note about the Lifetime movie coming out about my family. I saw the trailer suddenly in class and had an anxiety attack. None of us were contacted about the movie. None of the proceeds are going to the kids. This movie is trash and only hurts my siblings more. Please do not support the movie. And then she put out a series of other Instagram posts just like doing a meme over what this movie's doing to the family, right? And she makes a good point there that none of the proceeds are going to the family, and they were not even contacted or asked or even offered a chance to say no to it. And as you'll see from this trailer, it is worse than you could ever imagine.
Saved a lot of Christian families.
You think we really need a therapist? I think Jody wants to take advantage of you.
Your children's souls are in jeopardy. Together, we're gonna make them perfect.
Jody wants to come live with us. Jody needs quiet. She wants us to have a separation. No more contact with the children.
I have doubts about Jody's methods. She uses faith to brainwash people.
I take directions straight from God. No more living in distortion. There's only truth and responsibility.
Jody is God's messenger.
I believe in Jody.
Jody says Jody said Jody. Jody.
Mom Gone Wrong, the Ruby Franke story, premieres Saturday, October 26th at 8. Part of Truly Unbelievable Movies, a ripped from the headlines event, only on Lifetime.
Now, I am actually stunned, having watched that trailer, at just how dramatized they've made it into like an actual movie. It's not like they've based it on a true story or anything, because as you can see here by the names involved, they are the actual names of the people involved. Like Jodie Hildebrand is called Jodie Hildebrand, it's not a made up name. Ruby Franke is also Ruby Franke, etc, etc, and that extends to the kids as well. And it's not like they have decided, oh well, we'll do a based on a true story and change the names to protect privacy of the people concerned. No, they've gone full blast, head first into it, and just absolutely destroyed it. Right, so if we have a look at the cast members here, we can see Ruby Franke is being played by Emily Ullerup. So that's the headline act. Well, actually, the headline actor is Jodie Hildebrand, which is Heather Locklear. So it's quite a big name there that they've got involved. So it's not a low-budget movie, this. You know, it is quality stuff. Josh Blacker is going to be played the bald-headed Kevin Franke. And Shari, if you were worried about who was going to play, you know, you've got Savannah Miller, and also Chad as well. He's been played by Nolan Dubuc. Is that how you pronounce that? Oh, I'm not quite sure. But even to the extent I'm actually in shock. I mean, it goes some way when the two youngest who went through the most horrific of abuse are actually played by two kid actors, and they're played as the names that it's actually got them down as character names, and I'm not going to say the names because people have gone to great lengths on YouTube to not mention the names of the kids involved, right, for privacy reasons and just to protect them. They've not had any protection for all this time. And on my channel, I've tried not to mention the actual names. Most people refer to them as their initials, R and E, which is fair enough, just to reference them. But these on this movie have not only taken this horrendous story involving these two children, they've actually gone and they've revealed the names, and they've not gone to any lengths to protect the children concerned whatsoever, which I think is horrendous, to be honest with you. And judging by that trailer that we saw, it is very much dramatized, and I can completely understand why Shari and Chad are very upset about it, especially if they weren't contacted and their names are being used in this story. It is just, I personally can't believe it. So I would echo what Shari is saying, and just don't watch it. Just try your best not to watch it. I know I'm bringing attention to it, but it is newsworthy. I've been covering these the 8 passengers even long before the abuse ever came out. I've been covering 8 passengers, and then Ruby and Jodie on their own little haphazard channel thing going on there, and I've covered all the case and everything like that. I need to bring awareness to this, and just as it is a news story. Unfortunately, it continues to be a story because of people like these TV channels who are relentless in their pursuit of trying to dramatize everything. And that brings us to another topic, really, of over dramatization of very serious topics, because this is a serious subject. It's not a joke, it's not a game, it's not just a story, right? It was a very horrendous thing that happened to 2 very vulnerable young children, and it's like they have taken that and decided to make a drama out of it, right? And it's not even as if time has passed, you know. It was only like last year that Ruby and Jodie went and got locked up. Was it last year or earlier this year? Right, it was not long ago. It was last year, in fact, they got arrested. So, you know, it's not a drama, it's not a joke, it's not anything to be like excited about, you know, to try and make money out of, like in the way that they are doing. And to not ask, it's one thing trying to like do a based on a true story, but this isn't just that. It is a true story. It is completely their story, full of their names, their own names used. And I would be fuming if that was me, absolutely fuming. Anyway, if you have appreciated this video, please give it a massive thumbs up, comment all of your thoughts about it down below, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Until next time, take care and bye bye.